Shalom.
And find him, brother.
Shalom. First and foremost, when you all praises to our poor Yahweh Shem Shai, or Shem Kodash. Call Halalim Yahweh Shem Shai, or Shem Kodash. As in the ancient Hebrew, saying all praises to Yahweh in the name of Shai, in the name of the Holy Spirit. Yahweh is the correct name for the God of the Bible, who the world ignorant call Jehovah, God or Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai, who the world ignorant call Jesus Christ. True name for the God of the Bible in the Hebrew is Yahweh. His son's true name in the Hebrew is Yahushai. I want to give the honors unto our elders and apostles of Great Millstone, and shalom to all the brothers and what they are pushing this word in sincerity and in truth to all believe in this gospel. Shalom. This is another walk and talk through the spirit and power about Shem Shai. In all of them will intact this one, and error that proceeded from the ruler. I guess just real quick. This is Job 9 and verse 24. The earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? As the scripture said, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. The wicked is the so-called white man. Right now, they have control. And when you have power, right, you basically dictate, right? You set the laws. So let's get it real quick. Psalms 51 and 16. So like 50. Which Malachi 1 verse 4 so Esau is the wicked, right? With the Edomites today, are the so-called white race, so okay.
Who had great impact.
Alright, so okay. But I'm here. We know the so-called white race today, is described in the scriptures as the biblical Edomites, And so here when it says Psalm 51 verse 16, it's but unto the wicked Yahweh saith, what hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction, and causest my words behind thee, when thou sawest a thief, then thou consentest with him, and had been partaker with the adulterers. Thou givest thy mouth to evil, and thy tongue frameth deceit. Thou sittest and speakest against thy brother, thou slanderest thine own mother's son. So all of these things, we have these Edomites, them have power, for mandate laws, like for example, murder, Once a murder, because them man they above the law and them do all kind of sacrifice and so. But in general, in Jamaica, you can't murder people. You have a specific way you drive on the road, let me see. You have certain substance when it's supposed to be imported in the country, like crack or you can get fined or lock up or, whatever judgment them have in regards to breaking these laws, and they say you have the court of appeal, privy council, and all them things there, where Esau, the so-called white man, ultimately set up and him govern the earth. You have the UN, rules, what people then break them, then come down against them and so forth, and ultimately you have the elites them behind these governing bodies, so ultimately them set the laws, you know, will govern society today, and nobody really can stop them. Because again, it's written, the earth is given to the hands of the wicked. So when you pray people like today, you see them dress, you know, because there I'm gonna meditate earlier today. It's like you can't really blame people, which they will be judged, you know, but we pray things higher. The scripture said, a spiritual man judgeth all things, you know. These idea of customs, how people think, how them behave, how them dress, you know, ultimately them faith was all inspired, you know, on a lower level, because ultimately Yahweh Shem shared everything, you know, but it was all inspired by Esau, where them learn it on the TV, or they have social influencers, social media influencers, you know, where them basically, you know, give some money for endorse something so people can look on and follow after it, you know. That's why you have the LGBT alphabet movement gets a rampart, you know, and spread throughout all the earth. Why? Because it was sensitized, you know, a thing called we call it now. I remember the specific term, but it's like you push it out there, push it out there, push it out there, so until people just get used to it, you know, become okay to the general public, you know. And who did that? The so-called white man, called them in power. They have power to actually make it illegal, and nobody do it, put them to death, you know. This is how scripture refer to America as the hammer of the earth. Countries will not go with them desires, how them feel things supposed to go, then drop bomb on them, aka Afghanistan, Libya, you know, Iraq, right, just to name a few. Right, so Esau have the power to dictate, but when him dictate, you know, wickedness, that is what is pushed. And if you do your own custom, your own ways, you basically be penalized. Alright? This is Ecclesiastes chapter 10, instead of start of verse 5. It says, there is an evil which you have seen under the sun, and an error which proceeded from the ruler. So the error, who is truly to be blamed at the end of the day, is the ruler, because of them have power to dictate, them establish what is right from what's wrong, you know, on a lower level. For example, you have the scriptures say something different, but Esau mandates some else. For example, age of consent, you know, adultery, you know, what's supposed to be the judgment if a woman commit adultery? The man and the woman supposed to get put to the Esau say something different. Esau said woman can't let loose, so woman have rights, you know, to do whatever they wanted for them body, you know, fathers have rights, you know, all of these things, you know, are basically mandated by the Edomites ultimately, you know, because them sort of laws them. Right now, if you see a father that will give him 2 big stone, we're going to prison, you know. But according to the biblical law, me catch 2 faggot, me supposed to give them 2 big stone, and me good. You see me? But Esau flip it. The scripture say, surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. Because Esau switch everything, yeah. You know, when them get rule, the scripture say them put light for darkness and darkness for light, right? And this is done by the powers that be. Just like the serpent juice, when the serpent juice get pushed on the scene, you know, the powers that be, they mandate certain things, and then basically them push as truth that our people accept as truth. Wear mask, social distance, because this mysterious virus out there going to kill you if you don't follow what we say, and people believe. But if you are different leaders, well, you had leaders, but they never really have much power, you know, like in the kingdom of heaven, you know, righteousness will be the new order of the day, you know, wherein who will have power to dictate righteousness, you know, put an example to what all the hurt, you know, forgot, put to death, adulterers put to death, you know, certain food can't, well, and the food that certain things can't get heat, you know, supposed to be heat, because there's a judgment, and that will be established, that will be enforced, Just as how you can't have a man, well, yeah, people do it still, but it's a risk. You know, but you don't really have people that do as them will, for like running in from a bank and take out some money. You know why? Because it's considered as theft, and with that, you have penalties. You have a police force, and you go and get shoot or you get catch and lock up. You know why? Because them set these things as laws. You know, what people have to abide by. Right? So therefore people follow it. So when in the kingdom of heaven, when ultimately the most that Yahweh Shem Yashai, so the laws wherein with a two, Edomite or Moab can't yam certain bullshit, else this and that will happen, people gonna comply. Because again, it will be done by force. So the error at the end of the day, right, the true blame lies on the leaders, because they have power to dictate, right? And people, by nature, to a degree, more like sheeps, And follow, I said every day in this world, people just really a sheep, Yeah, them just want to follow, especially Jake. They just want to see somebody if we put up there and just follow. That's why the leaders of these people cause them to err. Because people look up to leaders. That's why them vote for big nose. That's why they realize for that nigga name Cartel. Them fall after him in them lyrics. Because by nature these people are sheep, they don't want someone for lead. So when you have a wicked leader or rule over these people, of course them gonna go off. Because they gonna follow what these leaders say. At the end of the day, even if them don't want to, them will be penalized, shunned and even judged. Lock up behind bars and so forth. It says, folly is set in great dignity, and the rich sit in low place, right? Because in the day, what is exalted, what is praised, folly, right? So okay, yeah. So folly is basically exalted. We're in LGBT alphabet community. Doors though will basically, right? One thing I say doors though is like if you do righteousness you get penalized and you kill two for God. Which that would be what me want though. Oh no, you're infringing on others' right. But forgot have right to do anything, and you can even discipline or govern your own household. Right? Because all of this is just chaos. Which that's what the so-called white man, the theme job. So no, perdition, right? Says I have seen servants upon horses and praises walking as servants upon the hurt. And the scripture says, Book of Sirach, I remember exactly where. It says one of the worst thing is when a servant be rule. Because the servant have the wisdom or capability to really rule, And that's Esau, so-called white race. He might rule right now, and lo and behold, the worst management on the face of the earth. That's why the scripture ever go on and says this. Isaiah 24 in verse 4 says, the earth mourneth and fadeth away, the world languisheth and fadeth away, the haughty people of the earth do languish. The earth also is defiled and the inhabitants thereof, because they have transgressed the laws, changed the ordinance, broken the everlasting covenant. Therefore are the curse devoured the earth, and they that dwell therein are desolate. Therefore the inhabitants of the earth are burnt, and few men left. Right? So the transgression of the laws, people departing from the way of the Creator, that's caused the ripple effect. When you look upon society today, it's deteriorated. And who really push people and influence people for go against the maker? Who come up with the whole idea of Big Bang Theory and evolution? Oh, there's no God, and if it's God, this is why you support him, love everybody. Who push these philosophies upon people? Growing up, them teach me Christianity, which is error. I don't know if I do the Bible. Right, them pose the Bible, but nothing to do with it. They go to school and teach a whole bunch of philosophies, growing up, even when you watch so-called Disney Channel and stuff where kids programs, them push for like witchcraft, but them pretty it up, make it look like something good. You know, the witch and the wizard of blah 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 blah. You know, and we will grow to think that these things are okay. When the scripture straight out say you suffer not a witch to live. You know, in other words, kill it. Right? But them push these things as it's okay. And people know as, you know, we're born blank. You know? And there's a saying, yo, which may see you manifesting more and more, yo, you're a product of your environment. Nobody know that unique where them can just in a situation or grow in an environment and be able to see if we can say this the best way possible. If you grow in one ghetto and you don't have experience certain things, yo, there's no way you can actually get other information as you come out of that place. For example, if you're growing up and ghetto where all you see is crime and violence, you know, and wickedness, you want to know, just like me growing up, I never know about Hebrew Israelite, you know, and who I'm prince of the power, what the most I require of me, until as the Ethiopian eunuch said, unless someone should guide me. But these leaders right now, guide nobody in the righteous way. So Big Nose and him friend, you know, Crofton, right now when I'm push out a digital economy, who ultimately I will lead people down the way of the MOTB, the mark of the beast. You know, make it look like it's something good. That's how them tell people, oh, the juke is good, you know, and it's gonna save life. And people take it, and the people get fucked, some people still get fucked. You don't know what to tell what will happen to the rest. Alright? So the true error is from leaders, because of them have basically more say, influence, impact. Right? Scripture said the poor man radio is despised. Poor man wisdom is despised. You know what I say? Right? You're shunned in a corner. But those who have, you know, the power and the say so, or people look up to, you know, and admire, them actually a bunch of wicked. Let me get this real quick. I'm ready to ramble. I've been doing that. So like, yeah. This is Ecclesiasticus 10 and verse 1. A wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered. You know, so a wise judge are going to instruct him people according to righteousness. So clearly these judges, these rulers right now in the hurt and the righteous, and them no wise, them wicked, come and lead the people down to destruction. He says, as the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers. And what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. Why? Because the ruler I got power to dictate. You know? If you don't want a witch in your society, you can kill them off. Because nobody now can stop you. So you know what people are do? Eventually, all of the witch them are dead off, and people look kind of fear and say this is not a good thing. It's like when Salia kill them off, you know? Alright? Don't want to forget in your land, they get rid of them. You know, kill them off, and they set up laws, they set up officers who hunt down the people and even educate people on the fact that it's wrong. You know? So but if like for example, when you read the history, you know, in the book like let's say Kings, First, Second Kings, Chronicles, First, Second Chronicles, and Judges and so forth, they teach you that each time we have a righteous king, you know, when them cast down the groves and the high places and so forth, and then kill off certain people, some wicked people, make worship idols and them thing there, right? Say them remove evil from among the people, right? Because again, that was a righteous king. And he had power to push forth righteousness. But when you have a wicked king, he actually influence the people to do wickedness. Why? Because he set up the grove them and he award the evil. And that's what basically will take place right now in the land. I scripture say what? When the flawless men are exalted, the wicked walk on every side. You know? And we can see that today, wickedness increase. This is when Alexander, you know, the creep, came into power. Scripture tells you, yo, once that man come on scene in the bread, and then after him generals, you know, they especially Antiochus Epiphanes, he was the fourth, you know, wickedness on a different level, because it's what glorifying the people, the righteousness get persecuted. Just like right now, Scripture say, he that turn it from, let me see if we can just get out quick. Isaiah 59, and think about verse 12. 14, it says, when judgment is turned away backward, and justice standeth afar off, for truth is fallen in the street, and equity cannot enter. Yea, truth faileth, and he that departed from evil maketh himself a prey on the Lord's sight, and it displeased him that there was no judgment, And why is that so? Because there's wicked rulers, right? Ward wickedness, and persecute righteousness. But very soon, table is about to flip. When the wicked will be persecuted and removed off of the earth, ultimately after 1,000 years, referring to the so-called white man. But more people, the scriptures are found wicked man, the most are going to get rid of them. And then righteousness will be the new order of the day. And then you're going to see people, a lust after righteousness. Desire righteousness. I want to try to be righteous, because the new rulers will be righteous and people are going to follow after them. I know you have like the celebrities them who push harmony and foolishness. People want to be like them, because them rich and them famous. So people mimic their behaviors to see if them can become like them. So when we're part of the first fruit of the kingdom of heaven, when we get lifted up and glorified with that power and that ruler, and be rulers of this earth, seems of people are going to desire to be like that, because they will see with the word and they will want it, and they will fashion them life after it as well. And one of the that get put to death as written, he that would not have it that I should reign over thee, bring head and slay them before me. So people are just get put to the left, right, and center, and then say, yo, being wicked not gonna work. You see me? Isaiah 14:1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And set them in their own land, and the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob, and the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives, whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. So we're going to rule over these nations, basically we're in slavery right now, especially so-called white man going to basically be in slavery. Main point, verse 3. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou was made to serve, that thou Salakia. That's good, sir, but I really wanted chapter 2. Isaiah 2. Yeah. This is Isaiah chapter 2, verse 1. It says, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days, that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and is referred to the governing body, the house of David shall be established in the top of the mountain, meaning these governments, right? So the new rulers gonna be the house of David, and 144,000 men of the house of Israel, the nation of Israel. You have the 12 apostles, right? King David, Yahweh, right? They're going to be the hierarchy of government upon this earth. It says, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. Alright, this is the main point, verse 3. And many people shall go and say, come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, and to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares, and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Kind of idea. There's going to be a righteous government set up, what basically show people what righteousness is by example, and them going to see the reward of being righteous. I'm going to flock after it, right? Because at the end of the day, if they don't read, they don't know punishment. So, and this is just something that I meditate upon, seeing how things govern, how even like, for example, women right now, woman basically follow the white man, right? She break from under our yoke, and I follow after the so-called white man, so very soon, we must say I will traumatize her and break her from under the so-called white man yoke and put her back under our yoke, wherein them will follow after what we say. We go and dictate to the nigger woman, which is Israelite woman. I see them really, them are sheep. Them follow after what society tell them to do. So when that power structure in society is changed and we have the final say so, them gonna fall in place as well. That's where scripture say no, in the day of thy power, thy people shall be willing. So how would us do? I need to wait until the Most High give you that power. When we will have the last say so, people going to submit. And when they submit, I said, bring them, as the scripture says, bring them hither and slay them before me. As the scripture also said in the law, others may look on and fear. So people get caught, afraid, inside joke, and do the right thing, right? So, with that, I hope this is fine until you look out there, so like if you're rambling, just try to make this, explain the points as much as possible. So I'm giving all praise to Opoy, how about Shem Shai, about Shem Kakadash. The abundance unto elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the full, Shalom.